welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Tulip and Golf. Now, Kun Tulip, yesterday you weren't here, but I reported about the evidence of about 2 kilometers long of small fish that died in the beaches, on the beaches of Rayong province. However, this morning we found 2 more, but this time is dolphins. So it's quite disturbing because obviously we report about the high level of mercury and about how, you know, Kun Chuwit as well as Kun Pop Prasop that went for a dive swimming in the Prao Bay area.
Right.
Probably should get themselves checked up. Of course, Kun Pop Prasop, you know, took it differently. He said, like, if I'm gonna die, I would have died by now, you know, because I swam for a few days already.
But this thing needs some kind of accumulation.
Exactly. If you want to die from mercury, I believe you have to consume it. So obviously, like in a large amount. So, you know, a little bit in your mouth will not work. However, at this point, obviously, one of the
it is, the picture of Parasol in the water.
He enjoys it. One of the person that the people that strongly opposed the whole, you know, announcement of the toxic level or mercury level in the water is Kun Wichit Chatpaisit, which is the provincial governor of Rayong province itself. However, yesterday there has been a report of 2 dolphins that were found. Now there was like a mixed names in terms of whether or not it's a Irrawaddy dolphin or is it the finless porpoise, because at this point the body or the dolphins were actually, as you can see there, you can't really tell anymore from the carcasses whether or not, you know, what type it is, but obviously the marine ecologists will actually look at it and then be able to identify for us. A lot of villagers were actually talking about this because they believe that it might have been from the oil leak. So the toxic level in the oil in the ocean at this point from the oil leak might cause this. However, they say that they haven't seen any trace of the crude oil on these 2 dolphins, so they cannot identify yet. But obviously, they will look at it most definitely. However, as for the 200 kilograms of fish that were found about with the 1 or 2 kilometer length the other day, they said that it belongs to Kun Kanchit Chuchert, excuse me, the fisherman who actually live in the area and went out at sea to, you know, get all this. He actually did not try to catch all those fish. However, he was working on getting all the squids and such. However, those fish just kind of caught on into his net. And they said normally they would take it, but these kind of fish are not the one that people consume because they're really tiny. Normally they use this kind of fish for animal feed instead. I don't know what kind of animal eat fish, but anyway, that's what they say. However, they said that Kun Kanchit, according to Kun Kanchit, the weather that day was so bad that the boat was too small to carry all these fish with him. So he decided to cut it loose, and that's why it's kind of immersed onto the beach.
Right,
so
and it made people scared.
Exactly. So the provincial governor came out and said that, you know, don't be alarmed. It was just from that particular incident. It's not because of the crude oil itself.
Right.
And of course, at this point, Rayong province are working with tourism departments, tourism and sport ministry, as well as various different departments that work on tourism as well as business sector in Rayong province itself to get together on the 17th to the 18th on the project called, this is what they call Gokgak Tour.
Okay.
Yeah, special edition. Yeah, special edition. Gokgak means probably, you know, a little bit of a tour. It's not something serious.
Right.
When you say it's something Gokgak.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those words. That's according to me anyway. So they say that they will actually have, you know, including all the sectors, about 4 groups all together, and they would disperse looking at diving, looking at the environmental issue, looking at tourism issue, especially in Summit Island. And creating a policy as well as trying to PR a little bit more on trying to boost the tourism in the area once again. So we're probably going to hear a lot more about it because obviously at this point there has been a lot of mixed information that came out in terms of whether or not it's safe enough for people to actually get into the area. However, according to the Pollution Control Department, they still requested that you refrain from getting into Prao and Thap Tim Bay area until we further notified. And they're looking at 10 other beaches as well. So we probably will hear a little bit more about that next week.
Talking about residue, yesterday there was a team of academic that also a diver and researcher. They just dive around Rayong area, Summit Island, and took the sample. They saw some bleached coral.
Oh.
When it's a symptom of a coral when the water temperature or chemical balance in the ocean, the salted water is not normal. It's starting to change color.
To bleach itself?
So it's called bleach coral.
Okay.
So they said that there's something show that it's not normal, but they already took out the sample and they have to go to the lab to see what actually make the coral bleach.
Right.
But they haven't seen any abnormality on the marine life. I mean, on the other fish or the shellfish yet. But on the coral itself, I guess it's because it cannot move away from it.
Right, it's more visible.
So it's show on the coral already.
All right.
Anyway, move to the next news. Some of you probably heard that on the yesterday.
A day before.
A day before.
Yes.
Yeah, a day before Tuesday.
Right.
At the Klongton precinct, there was the news of this one specific police officer suddenly get up, go grab M16 and spray bullets into the precinct. No one get hurt, of course, and a lot of people just think that he's crazy, suddenly lost his mind or whatever, so he just hopped on his car and flee, of course. So yesterday afternoon, finally, the police able to arrest him. He was already crossed the border into Myanmar at Kanchanaburi province at Sangkhlaburi district. And his car found on the border, but he got arrested when he crossed back. If you're gonna flee, if you already got away, why you come back?
Maybe he forgot something.
Anyway, in the car they found M16 gun and also mortar shell, of course.
6 of the M16.
No. They found one
M16
gun. They found 9 millimeters. They found stun bomb. It's the bomb that only have sound. Stun bomb. But,
why do you need those?
And they found lots of bullets. So
is he going on a war or something?
I have no idea. Currently, this guy is already expelled from
he should.
his job. And under investigation, he'll be charged with in possession of unauthorized weapons, of course, because M16 is categorized as the war weapons.
Yeah,
it's not something that police officers should carry around.
Could you imagine if you're like trying to chase after a bad guy and you pull
carry
out M16?
Yeah, that would look really weird. Anyway, this police officer actually he had a title as the police lieutenant colonel, Burin Lalita Thada, at the Bang Yi Rua precinct.
Right.
He used to be the deputy police investigative inspector at Klongton precinct even, but he somehow got caught up in some kind of lawsuit that he abused the motorcycle taxi.
Well, if you're being transferred, then obviously you have done something wrong.
And he used to lead investigative team, but now he moved to another precinct and just get some administrative job. So there is an assumption that he probably stressed out about his work, or he's probably upset about his work. And there is also a rumor that he might be using some drugs, and the Metropolitan Police Chief came out and said that his mom said, but this is like he say, she say.
Right.
His mom said that he is having mental problem. But if he is
Okay.
having mental problem, he shouldn't be serving as a police officer with
Yeah, who has gun?
with 9 millimeters on his side. Anyway, he got arrested already, and he's already expelled from his job, and now he is under investigation.
Well, I think that he's probably be at least serve a little bit of a jail term, because like that could have hit someone.
Yes.
He just got lucky that it did not hit
Even
anyone.
though he spray up to the ceiling, it doesn't mean it's secure or safe for
and I
anybody
think
else. It's scary.
People, the neighbors around the area say that he tends to do that quite a bit too. Yeah, I read from the other newspaper
Yeah, they
saying
said
that
he has temper tantrum.
he tends to like to shoot up in the air, and a lot of people were concerned because what went up sometimes had
Right.
to come down, and
True.
it might have
Gravity.
hit someone else. Exactly. So that could have turned out bad, but luckily he get arrested. Now on to another news, Kun Tulip. I mentioned about this yesterday, and of course, once again, the case seems to change.
Right.
It's Kun Akeyuth's case, the missing businessman that, of course, turned up dead because his driver confessed that he was trying to rob this particular businessman, Kun Akeyuth and Chanbut. However, it did not turn out well, so they ended up with murder and such. However, Kun Suwat Apaipak, which was a lawyer. I have to say was, because Kun Suwat has came out that he's going to wash his hand of this. He's going to be no longer be representing the family of Kun Akeyuth
Right.
and Chanbut anymore, because he got a lot of death threats afterward. However, he came out, like I mentioned yesterday, saying that Kun Santipap Pengduang, or Ball, his nickname, actually came out and told him that he was hired by someone else in uniform, about 3 million baht, to actually do this job. Now they have came out, obviously the police have to work really fast on this, and yesterday at 11:30 police lieutenant general Kamlongwit Thupkrachang has came out and said and provide a press announcement talking about a investigation into this particular claim, and they say that they sent the officials in and talked to Kun Santipap already to ask him whether or not that was actually the case, that someone else hired him instead of him was doing it out of robbery. However, it seems like Kun Santipap provide the police a different story. Kun Santipap said that no one actually came and see me. Kun Suwat said that someone was there, and one of those prisoners' relatives came to Kun Suwat and said that Kun Santipap asked them to inform Kun Suwat that this is the claim that someone else hired him, so please send in a team. So Kun Suwat said that he claimed that he sent in a team. However, yesterday the police has shown a letter from Kun Santipap confirming that apart from his parents and his own lawyer, no one was there to visit him. And secondly, he said that he have never said that there was a hiring job. And thirdly, he said that as for having told someone else to go and talk to Kun Suwat was not true either. So now that's all cleared out. So I guess at this point, it's more like Kun Suwat Apaipak came out and make all this claim. We're not sure yet what's going on, which direction. However, at this point, obviously the National Human Rights Commissions also get involved as well in terms of the whole investigation thing and such. And they say that at this point, Dr. Niran Pitakwachara has came out and say that they will provide the police with the full report today. And they say that obviously the report of the investigation, the evidence was a little bit different, because they claim that Kun Akeyuth wasn't choked. However, it was done professionally by a professional killer. But they say that even after this report provided to the police, they still do not have any power to actually enforce it or make sure that these will be used. So it's up to the police to do it. So at this point, we're probably gonna, I guess, revisit this case once again.
Right. Okay.
One more interesting news. The last
This
one.
is almost like one of those, not almost, it's actually a real story, but it sounds like a movie already.
Okay.
I guess it's, no, I mean your story. It sounds like one of those
I know.
things that will be made into a movie later.
It's quite, a good plot at this point. I think, it's got a twist, it got everything. So we're
Right.
gonna have to wait and see.
Anyway, next story is actually, the thing is, on the Wednesday, on the Facebook page of the Transport Minister, Chhatchhat
He's very
Sithipan,
active.
he is very active. This is the same minister that one of the Nation journalists found him sit at one of the bus stop on Ratchadamnern, remember?
He was at the bus stop and accidentally the reporter bumped into him and
Yes.
recognized him. I remember.
So he has made a poll about which bus route that the general public think provide the worst service, and I think it's not surprise to a lot of people because apparently this particular bus route has been on the top since forever.
Yeah, on the top of the worst.
On the top of
Not like the best,
of the worst.
the worst.
And but this time the transport minister himself decided to put the result on the Facebook page.
Ooh,
and the one
fun.
yes, but on his Facebook page he let people vote for this, and it's about over 300 people participated.
Okay.
Over 300 participated, and the worst bus route that got voted is the number 8, which received 223 points.
Out of 300.
Out of 300 something.
That is insane. Look at that.
It's yes. That
Wow.
and
Someone's
the
not
second is
happy.
only 31 point. It's bus number 44. So you can see how obvious it is. He said that so yesterday the minister himself
He got on the number 8.
He got on the number 8 bus and just try to see. But of course, when the minister got on the bus, I don't think he will get the same experience as the normal commuter.
Unless he went in as did not inform anyone as he got on the bus. But obviously this time he kind of did. So.
Right. But there is a lot of joke that people floating around the internet about this particular bus route, such as you can get miscarried on this bus.
So that's how bad, how
or
bumpy
this
it
bus
was.
is actually fast and furious. It's on the supercar speed.
Okay, so I guess if you want to go for a roller coaster ride, you can just might
Yes.
as well get on number 8.
And some people just happy to be alive step out of that bus.
That's horrible.
So so they asked why the bus have to drive so fast and
Yeah,
be
why?
this reckless. It said that this is actually a concession company, and it's over 100 concession company for many bus route together, and this is
Right.
one of them. This is one of the longest run bus route. It's running from Happy Land, which is in La Prao area, to Sapan Put, which is
That
like
is far.
That is far by the river, by the Chao Phraya River.
So
And they don't get salary like the bus driver of the Bangkok bus,
and that's why they drive fast.
because they want to
Oh, they want to gather as much of people as possible.
Yes.
To get a commission for that. Okay.
because the
Oh.
toll collector and the bus driver only got the commission out of the fares, out of the bus fare. They don't get the salary.
That's look pretty.
So I
run
guess
down.
the solution that they were trying to do, they said they will probably have to come up with some kind of salary or something for this.
Yeah, pay a little bit
driver.
more. Don't be so. You don't have to rush that much. Especially look at the condition of the bus.
And yes, and they said some of the bus number 8 doesn't, the fan, it's not an air conditioned fan.
It's
so
a
some
fan.
so some of the fan on those bus not even have cover.
Kuntulip, I think they might have to drive fast because there's no air conditioning in there, and then you have to use the wind as well to create all this nice atmosphere for people on the bus, for the passengers.
And it's the private owned company, so they might try to limit or minimize the budget as much as possible.
Yeah, all in all, that's not good. That is scary buzz, actually.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad that this minister, like, I actually really like him personally out of the whole bunch. It seems like the transport minister, he has been
looked
very
really
active since the start of his job until now. Like, very, very active. So good job, Kun Chachat.
So now he already called in all the private operator, and they actually have the association of the public bus operator. So he already called them in, and we'll try to come up with some solution. But as of now, if the same bus got some kind of petition or complaint, there is come up with something that they probably will have to be expelled, the driver. But I think it's about the management. You cannot just blame the driver. They do that for a reason.
Right.
If not only one, if majority of them
do
that.
Yeah.
So it's probably the problem of the system of management.
Right. All right. So hopefully we'll see a slower number 8 bus later on, hopefully. All right. Let's take a short break because we have the updates on the reform panels as well as the whole budget thing.
The budget bill.
Yeah, the budget bill that's coming up. And of course, I have a little bit about the mobs that went to Jangpratana area to protest the NHRC. So please stay tuned.